first and foremost, welcome. This is new for us, right?
How very exciting.
Yep.
Right, our new podcast, to send to the masses, or maybe just a podcast for us to listen to on the way back home. I think for the listeners and for the viewers, because we're being filmed as well, so maybe a bit of an introduction. We start with you, sir.
I thought you were going to go first.
No, not me. I'm not the
Put the
important
pressure on
person
me,
here.
man.
No.
Okay.
We're
all important.
Exactly.
Yeah,
This podcast is about a community. So,
Do you know what? Obviously, Simon, founder and director, Found Nutrition, right? Which is kind of how we all met, which is interesting. But I've always been into fitness, always done sport. Got into sports supplements purely through finding, bodybuilding, natural bodybuilding, which is what I did. But look, currently 48 years old, three sons.
Looking good.
Beautiful wife who looks 20 years younger than me, but she isn't. Which is one of the reasons why fitness is so important to me, right? Because while she's looking so young, I've got to continue trying to look young, right? That's a little bit about me. I won't say any more at this stage.
Love that. So I'm Scott, father of 4 beautiful children, beautiful wife that's produced these beauties, an absolute fitness obsessive, have been from day one. So from the days of watching Enter the Dragon, name your Rocky movie, name your Arnie movie, WWF wrestling. It's always been a big part of me. So kind of looking good, but moving well as well. And through that obsession, and through my love of people connection, I help people find their own fitness. So I like to chase mine, and I like to help people find theirs as well. So that is my current passion. And hoping that this gives us an opportunity to reach more people, enable them to do just that.
Well, those intros, I don't know how I follow that up. So, hi, I'm JP. I'm lucky enough to know these wonderful men, these wonderful fathers, and I'm lucky to be on a journey. I think we're on a journey, aren't we? And I think the journey we're going to talk about and hopefully share some of our experiences, some good, some bad. And I know you're probably somewhat nervous because you put me in this hot seat to ask you some questions. I'm going to ask those questions. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to hide. We're not going to shy away from the tough questions because ultimately that's what we're here for. First question, who do I go to? And this is a conversation, by the way.
We'll both try, yeah. Go on.
Yeah, this is a conversation that I think we need to have.
He's scaring me now.
No,
I feel like
I know even some of the brief conversations I've had with him already. When we open up, because look, the truth of it is, right?
Yeah,
we all have things going on in life. Life is real, right? And you look at social media, all the pictures look great, they all look fun. It's like, wow, look at me, look how successful I am. Look how great my life is. And then behind the scenes, people are like, damn man, how am I going to pay that bill? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? I've got this problem, that problem, whatever it may be, right? So we know when we've all had conversations personally, right?
Yes.
That it's helpful and it's useful, right? And it's also, we've always been, one of the connections we've got, which is going to be interesting with this, is we're pretty honest.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever felt that we've needed to shy away from trying to act like we're the big man, everything's 100%. Great, everything's right, because it's not always, roses.
No.
Right? And life is real, life happens. Yeah. It's the good, the bad and the ugly.
Yeah.
So, JP's probably going to want to do more of the ugly.
Yeah. I'm a little nervous, but like you, Si, I do think that the job is to show a bit of vulnerability.
Absolutely, yeah.
To kind of be frank and be open. And I know we've all had real straight conversations. But in sharing that frank and openness, hopefully encourage others to do the same thing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, look, come on, there's something selfish about it. So it gets oneself better at doing it too.
Yeah.
So there's a kind of a cleansing of one's own mind as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's not pretend that's not.
No, let's not. And talk about not pretending. So the first question I'm lucky enough to ask is, what drives you both to do the things that you do every single day? Who wants to take it? Come on.
Ben, I'll be honest with you, because things change, right? So when you're younger, everything's for you.
Yeah.
Right? Everything's for you. Your driver's for you. I did track and field. I did a lot of sport, right? It's all for me, And I did natural bodybuilding, right? It's a really selfish sport.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of being like married, having kids at the time, and things like this. It's a selfish sport, if you like. But things do change as you get older because you've got responsibility. People rely on you, right?
Yeah.
It's not about paying your bills. It's not about buying things for you.
Yeah.
It's about making sure your kids have got clothes, food's on the table, everyone's happy. And I'll be honest with you, from my side, where I'm at right now, as long as the family are happy, I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
That's really it for me, right?
Yeah.
And it has to, and I'm not just saying that because it sounds good and makes you look good because you said that. It's genuinely true, and that's the thing. The thing is change, and I don't have a lot of people in my life, friends, family, things like this, right? So really, what I have is that family, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I say. As long as they're all happy, that I'm happy.
Okay. So you mentioned selfish sport, right? Which it is.
Yeah.
Because you're concentrating on
100%.
you. You're thinking about you when you wake up. You're thinking about you when you go to sleep. You think about you when you actually work out. Why has that changed all of a sudden?
You just mature.
Mm-hmm.
You and also you have regrets, right? So there's times like I can even go back to previous businesses I've had, right, where things didn't work out, right? Didn't all go to plan, right? And I always kind of say, look, a failed business is the best degree in business you're ever going to get, right? Yeah, Simon Cowell was bankrupt twice, right?
Yeah.
And people don't look at that. People don't go, well, actually, the reason why he was so successful third time round is that because he failed twice before, right?
Yeah.
And it's about using those bad experiences as a form of education, right? So, like I said, the best degree in business you're going to get isn't go business school, get a degree. It's to start a business and fail and make all the mistakes.
Yeah.
Because that pain is what teaches you, right? And so, you get to a point in life, you look back at things and you go, right, okay, I sacrificed so much time for this. I sacrificed time for that. I was selfish with this. And the thing is you can either make excuses for why you did all that when you did it, or you learn by it and you can change. And the thing is I think I realized a few years ago that, you know what, I've got this little saying, and it's my own little saying, right? But it's either, and I've just from when I talk to certain people of certain ages, right? You either get worse or you get wise, right? And I made that saying up, and I love that saying because I think it's true.
Yeah.
Because what I realized is there's a lot of people, especially in the older generation, right? And wherever they are, it's everyone else's fault.
Yeah.
It's this person screwed me over on this business deal.
Yeah.
This person did this person did that. And it's everybody else's fault.
Yeah.
Right? Or you learn by all of that, regardless of whether someone's screwed you over, regardless of someone's done something bad to you, right? It's all a learning curve. But we all have the ability to change. Right? And this goes back down to the physical side of it, right? It doesn't matter whether you're 20 stone, you have the ability to be 15 stone, right? We all have the ability to change.
Yeah.
But it's accepting the fact that we can change and not trying to find excuses not to change.
Yeah.
Right? So I made a lot of mistakes and I sacrificed a lot of time and I was selfish and I was like, thought, no, I'm chasing this dream. It's going to work. And this is for my family because it's going to, when sometimes you look and go, well, actually, what's more important? If you're doing it for your family, then spending time with your family, surely, and giving them memories is more important than convincing yourself that you're trying to. So, my outlook on things has changed, right? I do this thing on a Friday evening, finish work. I don't even like going in the front door. I say to Rianne and boys, look, just meet me outside. Let's go somewhere. Let's do something. What do you want to do? Kids, they'll pick something. They'll go bowling, whatever it is they want to do. And we go and do that. And I start my weekend Friday evening. And then I try to just do the whole weekend is them. I don't think about work. I try and get my head around it and everything. And I can have all the worries and stresses in the world that weekend, but I just don't let it destroy that time and those memories. Yeah. And I try and do as much as I can. And it's just genuine. You asked my wife on this, but that's because I've made mistakes in the past. Yeah. And those mistakes
we'll get her on, by the way.
Yeah.
We've got a fact check.
You know what? Those mistakes, they hurt you. When you make those mistakes and it's people you love, and you see these people supporting you and you've given up like time and it's a bit of pain and you can't you can't take those scars away, right? And those memories will always stay with you, right? And that's the thing. And you those scars will be there regardless, right? You just have to try and rectify the future. Yeah. Right. So, I look at stuff. I won't go too much detail, but look, I'm a Christian, got faith and everything else, right? And it's a journey I've been in with my wife and we've done it together. And another story, but I suffered with colitis for years, right? I was diagnosed with colitis, suffered with colitis. A rare case of where I've fully recovered from it. And that's another story, right? But I was always, from a biblical side of things, and I know me and Scott talk about stuff, I was always looking at this thorn in the flesh thing, which was Paul, right? Who wrote a big percentage of the Bible.
Yeah.
And because of the colitis, I was going, what was this? Did the guy have a sickness? And you read a lot of stuff and people talk about this sickness. One day, this voice has come to my head, right? And for me, it's a godly voice. He said, just out of nowhere, I wasn't even thinking about it on that day, he said, that was his past. It's like, what do you mean that was his past, right? So he carried around his thorn in his flesh every day, which affected him and hurt him every day. But it was his past. He used to kill Christians, and then he went on a journey to try and save people, right?
Yeah.
But then if you've suddenly become a new man following that pursuit, you would regret what you've done in your past every single day of your life.
Yeah.
And that's when you realize these memories, the things you do, the bad things you do, you can never take away, and they'll be with you forever. But all you can do is try and be different every day in the future.
Learn from them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, that's a big one for me.
Bit of redemption.
Yeah, absolutely.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Bit of redemption.
Yeah, but I'm talking too much now.
No,
So we need
not at all.
There's no such thing.
Scott,
This is-
Scott needs to come in.
No.
Scott needs to
I
come
can
in.
talk.
This is a conversation, and that's the thing.
it.
And it's a three-way conversation.
Of course it
It's a
is.
conversation nonetheless.
But I like to talk sometimes, so you don't feel to like to butt in and stop me,
Yeah, but
okay?
Simon, like above all else, sure, we're in this nice studio, and we're moisturized, nice lighting. We'll get some moisturizer in a bit. Scott's got something in his bag. Yeah, cocoa butters there.
Always ready.
Always ready.
Yes. Oh,
yeah,
yes.
you don't want to be
Don't
ashy.
worry.
But if you take all of that away, it's a conversation between three
course
friends.
it is. Mhm.
It's an honest conversation. So it'd be better for you to speak
Yep.
because we're talking to each other, and I guess we're now on a platform where we can allow other people to listen to that conversation.
Yep.
That's incredibly powerful. So say what you need to say. On that, Scott, I'm going to change the question slightly
Oh, okay.
because you were preparing in your mind,
I
weren't you?
was. I was thinking forward, but go for it.
Yeah. But that's the point. Got to keep you on your toes.
Okay, let's go, Jim.
You're a runner. Keep you on your toes,
Let's
right?
go.
You're a boxer. Keep you on your toes.
He's not going to be nice to you, man.
Front
So,
time
yeah.
again.
No. It's not going to escalate because I wouldn't put you in a place where you wouldn't want to be in.
Okay.
But maybe just have a peek through the window.
Okay.
What are you willing to sacrifice for your family?
Oh,
Be honest.
that's a powerful question. So kind of going back to what you asked, the driving force. So the answer I was going to give, that family is my driving force. So family is everything. I feel like, and I've had up and down moments, and social media is a snapshot of someone's life. And I think if you probably look down my Instagram or you look down my Facebook page, like everything looks amazing. It's all all the best moments, all the holidays, all the cool PBs in the gym, all the cool things that we've done. But the reality is, like many of us, life does this. Like it can be very binary as well. Sometimes I don't feel like there's that bit in the middle. So you're either flying or you're low. And for me, family is the thing that kind of brings me back to that kind of that level ground. So in answer to your question, what would I sacrifice for my family? There is nothing, and I mean nothing, that's more important than them. But where I've come to in my current life, and this kind of feels a bit counterintuitive, and it's actually taken some kind of learning, a bit of deep reprogramming. Unless I work on me, so that's not putting them to one side, but unless I turn up and be the best version of me that I can be, and sometimes that involves spending some time on me, and sometimes that involves saying, actually, do you know what, guys, I need to do this other thing. Then inadvertently, if I don't do that, they are sacrificed. Does that make sense? So
Sure. Yeah.
it has. I feel like currently in my life, I am in a transitionary period, and I feel like I'm stuck between an older version of me and a newer version of me. And interestingly, I feel to reach this other space, which is going to be better for everyone, first of all, my family, something has got to give. And sometimes I have to kind of choose me so we can get to that other place. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that answers the question. So there's nothing that I wouldn't sacrifice. But I think sacrifice can be a kind of a bit of a loaded phrase. And I think in amongst that, it's considered quite, pious to bleed oneself out, but you've got to do the work on you first. That's kind of where I find myself currently.
So I might be going in a bit of a wrong track here, but again, if we're going to cut all the BS out, it's okay to focus on yourself, right? That's what you're both saying. Rightly or wrongly, for whatever reason.
Yep.
I think it's essential.
And the thing that draws us together is fitness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that is ultimately you're doing it by yourself, for yourself.
Yes.
Doesn't mean that you're doing it in isolation, because we're here, three of us.
Yep.
Dads, we try. Fitness is your literal business. Scott's is the same, transitioning to that world where you are expanding your client base. And I'm one of your clients. Literally, I'm sat here interviewing people that I am the client of, right? Crazy is that? But we're doing it together, but we're doing it individually, right?
Yep.
So if we really strip away the family, if we really strip away the business, if we really strip away what we're looking to do in the future, why are you doing it? Like, what's your why? That's the biggest question that I think lots of people want to hear. And you've got to be honest. Like, I want to hear the honesty, because it's not just me. I want you to strip away all this Instagram quote, right? I want you just to tell me, why are you doing it?
Real talk. Okay, real talk. So, we've had faith conversations of late. So I was brought up a Christian, went to church with my grandma. Me and my brother did, but if I'm honest, we went because we had to go.
You were scared, right?
Yeah.
If you didn't go on a Sunday,
we were told to go.
Yeah,
on
the
Sunday.
Bible would be hit somewhere.
So we went on Sunday, but when, as soon as we were of age, that's something that kind of fell by the wayside. And throughout my life, in the background, I've always had this sense of kind of a connectedness between everyone. It's just a thing that's there. And I've always found myself particularly empathetic to be able to, and I've always found human connection particularly easy. And I think that speaks to, I think there's like intangibles around all of us. So yeah, we can see, hear and smell stuff, but there's an energy that you can't measure, you can't put it in a cup, you can't grab hold of it, but it exists. And I've always thought that, like, so I can feel it. Sometimes you walk into a room, you meet someone, like, bloody hell, I've known this guy forever. It feels like that.
Yeah.
First time we had a conversation.
True.
But conversely, like, sometimes you go into a room and you see someone that I need to get out for whatever reason. You
feel that vibe,
100%. And it's kind of knowing that and having that as being the background of my life. And as I've got older, I've started to ask myself kind of more questions. And I think, at 43, 44 this year, I think it's natural. I mean, I could be arguably at the middle point. So I could have as much in front of me as behind me. And I think it's natural to kind of reflect, to be kind of reflective at that stage and kind of look where you've been and then look where you're going. And then ask yourself, actually, what's actually the point in it all? And if you talk about purpose, so interesting, when I started asking myself these hard questions, and this started probably for me about 2 years ago, probably 40th birthday, but really 2 years ago, I really started kind of pressing that button.
Why? 2 years ago.
Why 2 years ago? So I turned 40. Interesting, my 40th year was cool. So, I'm 40 and I feel cool because I'm healthy, I'm fit and I'm strong. And that's like pat on the back time. 41 comes. So, well, that's behind me now. So what's the rest of it all about? And then I start looking across my life and the decisions that I've made, the opportunities that I've passed up, the impacts that I could have had it not have been for a bit more willingness, a bit more courage, a bit more willingness to take a risk, and a bit more that fear of failure thing, a bit more being willing to fail, bump your head, and actually realise that it's okay and you can keep going. And that crippled me. Crippled me. I thought, I want to be a better version of me. So not just just for me. So there comes the family bit again. I've got 4 gorgeous kids: a 14-year-old daughter, 12-year-old son, 6-year-old daughter, a 3-year-old son. And I would hate for them to get to 41 and be like, I've had a bad one. Have I messed this up a little bit? Have I done myself enough justice here? I'd hate for them to get to that stage and think that. So they need to see me trying to ascend. They need to see me accepting, do you know what? There's more. And see me going for it. And see me brave enough to bump my head. And see me brave enough to be resilient and keep going. That's
good, the bad, the ugly.
The good, the bad, the ugly. That's been a huge, huge piece. So that was initially I've got to do this for my kids. My kids have got to see me. I want to be a happier, more present version of me. And I think there was a lingering dissatisfaction that was preventing me from being the best version of me that I could.
Yeah.
And as that grows, this kind of, what is this ether, this interconnected thing that I keep feeling that kind of keeps ebbing and flowing? What actually, who are we connected by? What are we connected by? And I keep asking the questions. My wife is a woman of faith, always has been. And in some of our most challenging moments at home, I've looked at her and she's like a stalwart. And I'm like this. And she's just like, it's going to be all right. What is that, babe? She describes this faith concept. And it always intrigued me because she's got great power. She's a very impressive woman. And in the most challenging moments, I've seen her, she's a rock. And this faith concept always intrigued me. And
so you're telling me there was like an imbalance where she's the head of the household, strong, smart, driven, and you're lagging behind.
no, I wouldn't say that, JP. I think in our
Sure.
home, we're quite old.
It's okay to say that, by the way.
Oh, no,
If you felt,
listen, I'll speak very, very, very frankly.
yeah,
So in our household, we're probably quite old school in the way that we kind of split the roles.
Sure.
I don't want to call them blue jobs and pink jobs.
Yeah.
Through fear of backlash.
it's going to be cancelled on YouTube already. Can't believe you said
straight
that.
away.
Yeah.
But we are kind
Different colours. It doesn't have to be pink or blue. Everyone likes different things. You can like beige. You can like indigo. You know?
I feel like, so to your point, so her role, doing her feminine energy was completely on point. So maybe to your point, I felt, could I do more? Maybe there is an element of that. But could I bring more to the table?
To bring like a masculine energy?
It's not so it's not so much a masculine energy, but it's an energy of positivity. Because in that sense of dissatisfaction colours interactions. It colours your communications. It colours your exchanges. And because I didn't feel happy within my own self, I knew 100% that I wasn't bringing as much of me to the table as possible. I'm not saying anything was lacking. It wasn't that. It's not like I should be doing this and I'm not doing it. But I knew I had more to give. I knew I had more potential, more capacity.
Yeah.
For all of the good things, for love, for laughter, for homework, for all of those things. Yeah. Through leaning in. So this question's in the back of my mind. And I kind of start thinking about this interconnected thing. Start thinking about what is above us. And long story short, start of this year, started going to church. I'm just going to find out. I've got friends that like little things happened over the past few years. Conversations with friends, kind of people of faith. And I say things, I'll walk away and I'll ponder on it. I'm like, that kind of makes sense. That lands. Let me lean in. Let me explore my own concept of risk. Because I've always thought it's something above us all. And it's I remember I went to church in January. No preconceptions. I just wanted to kind of just hear some stuff, kind of give some language to this thing that I've been wondering about. I don't have the tools. So I thought, well, why not go somewhere that kind of teach a student paradigm? I spoke about this in the car. I want to be a student. I want to learn. Through talking about faith and understanding faith, and through leaning into the fact that there's something above all of us and we're all interconnected, it's made me get out of my own head, because there's so many of us that me, on the map, I'm like this. So all of those hang-ups and all of that doubt and all of that fear, on the grand scheme of it, it's irrelevant. It doesn't actually matter. These are things in my own head, because the broad scale picture is there's loads going on and we're all part of a giant machine. Through that, and I said this to you on the phone, Simon, I know I've said this to you, JP, but I'll say it for the benefit of the camera. Through that came a sense of humbleness. Well, bloody hell, I'm going to get out of my own way here, because there's so much more than just me.
Yeah.
That squashes the ego. I'm not saying I'm never a boastful, brash person. It's not that. But for me, ego is a kind of preconception with yourself, how you're perceived, how you're, the things you do or don't say impact others, what people, all of that goes.
Yeah.
And through that humbleness comes courage, and comes power, and comes agency around direction. So I've come to the place at 43, nearly 44 years old, where I think, I've worked out what it is, the thing. So I'm at the halfway point, and I've worked out what the thing is. So all of the things, there's lots and lots of things that I can't do. Lots of things that I consider to be difficult.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of things that you'll be able to do that I'm like, what is that? And I'm very honest and open about that. But I think the job is to work out what you can do, right? What things come innately, simply and easily to you and naturally, and then leverage them as hard as you can for the benefit of everyone.
Okay.
So if you play your strongest hand, you play your strongest hand. Like the Avengers, right? Or Justice League. I know you're
I don't mind the Avengers.
Like you don't need to have all the powers. Do you?
Yeah.
You just need to have your power.
Yeah.
And you play your power, and the team up.
Yeah.
Is what wins.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm at a stage now. So my why is, I love humans and love connection, and I believe that's something that was given to me. The ability to kind of have great compassion and empathy and understanding for people, and probably give them a little bit of what they need to help them progress.
Yeah.
That's what I need to do. That's the
Pass it forward.
That's what was given to me. It isn't mine, right? So the only thing I'm going to do for my next 43 years, I pray, maybe even more. My great-granddad
bring it on.
over 100
Hey,
years.
come on.
The only thing I intend to do is leverage that thing that was given to me to help other people. And that is, it sounds broad, it sounds esoteric, but that is literally how I find myself viewing my life. And if you spoke to me this time last year, I wouldn't have said that.
That's beautiful, man.
So I'm happy to share it.
That's beautiful, man. Seriously. And I think for you to share it gives someone something to hold on to, whether it's faith-based, whether it's just looking for something else. Simon, so it's nice to come out the other side with a bit of purpose, a bit of drive. But if we focus on maybe not coming out the other side just yet, because some people struggle. It's nice to have that drive. It's nice to have that end point. It's nice to have clarity. Is there a time where you've been stuck in that place where you don't see the other side? And if you don't mind, and I know it's not comfortable, but this is about talking.
Yeah.
Can you share that time where it's just everything's come on top of you? And what did you think about when it did?
Do you know what, JB, right? That's a massive part of life, right? Because I could probably give you 20 examples, okay, when everything has been on top of me, everything's been against me, everyone has been against me, right?
Yeah.
But the personality that I am, I'll just keep fighting, right? And I'll keep trying. And the thing is like, if you want to be on the religious side, it's like, God won't ever give you, a challenge you can't handle, right? And, the bigger the blessing, the bigger the fight.
Yeah.
Right. So, you have to believe there's bad and there's good and everything, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes there's scenarios in my life where my wife just goes to me, do you know what it is? They just don't like the God in you. That's it. The devil in them don't like the God in you. That's why sometimes that's the only way you can explain things that go on in this world, right?
Yeah.
Whether that be family coming against you, people in business, people in life, people in general, right? And that's the world we live in.
Yeah.
And, I've realized it so much recently. I look at things very differently now because I think we live in a different world to what we did.
Yeah.
I grew up when mobile phones didn't exist. I grew up when I had to go around my friend's house to play a computer game.
Yeah.
Right. We live in a different world, right? And I think something's happened in the last so many years where you realize people have less ability to be human, right? So less ability to have empathy, love, compassion, things that Scott mentioned, right?
Yeah.
And we do live in a world with a lot less empathy, compassion, right? Even the old movies, right? There used to always be like a goodie, a baddie, and a love story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's even changed
over
recent years, right? So we can all recall certain movies where there was always the goodie, the baddie. We always get that. We understand it.
Of course.
It's almost like naturally we know there's good and bad in the world.
Yeah.
That's why we always like movies with a goodie and a baddie. But we always like the love story as well.
Of course.
Right? And things change. And I think people now, even songs, music back in the 80s and 90s, right? It's so different to what it is today.
Yeah.
you know, I used to love listening to like R&B. I grew up listening to R&B, right?
Shout
Loved
out to 90s R&B.
it. 100%, man. And I remember when I used to listen to that back in the day, people go, what are you listening to? You mention the name, and they go, who's that? Like,
Yeah.
Let's go and listen
It
to Oasis
changes.
and like you do
Yeah.
deal with that. Right.
I feel like we could have been boys back
Absolutely,
in the day.
right. And I, you know, it's quite funny because I knew my wife when we were like, she was 16 and I was like 18. Right?
Yeah.
There's 2 years between us, or a year and a half actually, right? And I used to make her mixtapes.
Nice.
Yeah. And she's still got them today.
Nice.
She's still got them today. They're in the
Nice.
loft, right? She kept them. We lost touch and we got back in touch years later. She's still got these mixtapes in the loft. She kept them. She never got rid of
Beautiful,
them.
man.
She must have loved me, I think.
Yeah.
Right? There must have been something.
To be honest, that's
Like-
a smooth.
Yeah, it's
that's a power.
That's a
move.
shout out to anyone that's nowadays, right? You can't send
Mixtapes.
some. Well, they're going to
Mixtapes.
send out someone's Spotify list, aren't they?
Yeah.
Right.
Like they're just going to join into their
there
jam.
was-
or
That's
something.
you know what it
interesting.
was? I
That's
think-
something the mixtape is lost.
But you
isn't
know
it?
what? The mixtape, it took effort.
Of
You had to
course.
make the
course
mixtape. You had
it
to
did.
fade the tracks in and out. You had to do it all
Yeah.
properly. There was effort in doing it, right? And you know, I had a really good sound system. I did it, but you know, that is where we are in the world at the moment, right? And so I think it's really important. And
Yeah.
I'm talking from my own experience because I've been through a lot recently. And like I said, there's a lot of stories I can tell you about things coming against me, right? But
Is there one you'd be happy to share?
oh man, I've got loads. I mean, look, business is a good example
Yeah.
because I deal with different people every day,
Yeah.
right? And when you're in the world of business, everything's money. Everything costs money, right? Everything's about making profit,
Yeah.
right? And I've always tried not to focus on certain things and gone, like, I just want to grow the business,
Yeah.
right? And we live in a world where 5 years ago, everything was cheaper, everything was quicker.
Mm.
I can make things cheaper, quicker, get it around the world, send it to this country, that country, open market with the EU, we lost, and everything was different, right? Now, every time you go to manufacture something, price is different, right? Every time you go to ship something, prices are different. And it's created this kind of thing, I think, in the business world, especially where like there's a constant battle and fight,
Yeah.
right? So then something goes wrong, everyone's trying to blame everyone else. And I've had some scenarios, I spoke to you about stuff, JP. You know,
Yeah.
we've got a court case at the end of the month regarding some bad manufacturing that we had done, right? You know, company took the stock back, serious amount of money's worth of stock. They have it, they own it. A little bit was sent out. They admitted it was faulty. They came, collected it and everything, and then they're still trying to bill us for it.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
So they're billing you for something you haven't even got. But yeah, without going into all the details
Yeah,
and everything else. But you know, these things become a distraction, right?
Yeah.
And these are the bits when things are unnecessary in life, it becomes a distraction. And you know, I even go back to when I was diagnosed with colitis and how that made me feel, right?
Yeah.
Then it changes your personality, changes the way you think.
Yeah.
It makes you distracted. You know, the time when you should be enjoying time with your family,
Yeah.
right? The
Yeah.
weekends, that's
Yeah.
so precious to me.
Of course.
You're a different person. You're disconnected. You're thinking about other things. And you're not focused. And you know what? I've realized as hard as these things are, as much as even some of these scenarios could destroy everything you tried to build,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I can't let these situations win over my life
Yeah.
anymore. And I have done in the past. You know, I've been weak and the fear, 'cause it's all about generating fear, right?
When you say weak, though, is that? Would you class yourself as weak?
Do you know what? When you allow things to affect your personality,
Yeah.
when you allow things to affect how you treat other people,
Yeah.
you know what? For me, I do class it as weakness, right?
Okay. Okay.
Okay, because
Oh, you're not human, though.
you are human,
It's
right?
okay to be that way.
Yeah, you are. But
Yeah.
but the reason why I called it weak, and it goes back to what I was saying earlier, right? Is we all have the ability to change.
Yeah.
Right? And learn. So I've realized that the bad things that happen to me, and there's a lot of stories I could tell, right? But and I don't want sympathy over this because they make you who you are, and they make you either get wise, or you get worse,
Yeah.
or you get wise or you get weak,
Yeah.
right? And you can go along blaming, foul at everything, and blame all these things that happen to you, right?
Yeah.
Or you can get yourself up and crack on and carry on, right?
Yeah.
And there's power in that, and you know, faith is an important thing, right? Because if you're in a scenario, we don't have the answers,
No.
right?
No.
And there's a lot of things in our life that we will never have the answers for, right? But if you have faith,
Yeah.
then you can say, well, you know what? I'm going to pass it over. You know, I'm just going to let God deal with that
Yeah.
because, you know, and He can deal with those people,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I won't. It's not down to me to judge them. They've done this, this, and this. I'm not going to carry. And one of the things that I don't do, and I've been like this my entire life. I don't carry bitterness around with me. I don't carry around hate for other people.
Yeah.
I don't want to see people in a bad situation. I don't know. I just, even things I've walked away from, which I should have really thought.
Yeah.
I've walked away from.
Yeah.
Right. That could be a weakness, right? But I just think I haven't got time to deal with that stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I recognise a lot
right?
of stuff.
So, I walk away with it, I pass it on, and I'll let God deal with it, right? And that's kind of how I am. But, there is a weakness in allowing these things to affect your life, because you have to learn from it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you have to realize that actually, do you know what? No matter how much I worried about that scenario, no matter how much I didn't sleep about that scenario, no matter how much I was thinking about it, no matter how much when my wife was talking to me, I wasn't even listening because I'm thinking about all this other stuff that's got going on, right? I allowed that to, lose time in my life, right?
You still went through it. And I don't want to take it away, all the experiences that you've given and all the truth that you're speaking after the fact, right? And this is for both of you. This is certainly for me. When you're saying stuff and I'm listening, I'm hearing, more importantly, the battle that you've obviously had to undertake. You've gone through that battlefield, you've been there, and for some reason you've come out the other side better, stronger, fitter, faster, everything else, which is great to hear. However, you've had to go through that battlefield, and anyone that's going to listen to this may just be going through that battle. And they can't see that light. They can't feel that warmth, and they don't have the drive. They don't have the capacity. People might be listening to this, might be watching it and going, what are these guys talking about? Look at them. Handsome chaps, business owner. Look at this male model of a man. And this dude that's, just blagging his stuff, right? He's getting some free stuff.
Getting some freebies.
He's getting some freebies. So they're thinking all of this and they're going, I can't relate to this.
I think it's
all I'm hearing is we can come through it. They're not hearing what you've had to go through, the dirt, the nastiness, the fight within yourself. They're not hearing that. I'm not hearing that. That's what I want to hear. But you tell me, you focus on some dark times, right? And we'll take a break for a second because I think everyone needs to go to the toilet. So the dark times, and you don't need to repeat what those dark times were, but think about Simon in those dark times. Think about Scott in those dark times. What did you think? What did you feel? Tell me. If we can reduce it down to one sentence before we take a break.
I'll go with this side.
Be honest, though.
I've had some dark times. And I actually think it's about reframing. So everyone's dark time is different.
What's your dark time then?
Everyone,
don't skirt around the subject, my friend.
Everyone's rock.
Don't think before you speak. Speak.
Yeah, everyone's rock bottom is different. I mean, but
what was your rock bottom?
There are varying degrees.
What was your rock bottom?
Down.
You want to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
You know what?
What was your rock bottom?
You know what? I'll share something and then we'll wake Scott up, right? Because,
okay.
Years ago, right, I went through a proper depression, right? I lost a business that was a good business. I employed like 30 odd people. We had, did really well. There was a bit of a financial crash. Things happened. And literally overnight, what was good disappeared completely, right? It wasn't sports nutrition. I was, I've done other things over the years and I've worked in the corporate world and I was a graphic designer, early on in my career and things like this. But I lost everything, right? And, I went through a divorce. Obviously had my oldest son in that marriage and everything, right? Everything just went wrong, right? Wasn't in love in that relationship anymore. Got to a point where I couldn't bear to be near the woman, to be fair, right? But you know what? There was certain things that just lights that went on, right? And one of them was like she got paid out of my other business. Didn't work, but she got paid really well, right? And it was a lot of money.
Yeah.
Drove around nice cars, Porsches, Range Rovers, all that, right? And it was like one birthday. It was like, oh, can you give me some money for your birthday? I need to buy you something. I'm like, damn, if you can't save like even £10 a month, like, and the way I was, and I had a couple of stepkids as well in that relationship, right? And I did a lot for everybody.
Yeah.
And that was just like light just switched off. I'm like, I'm done with this, man. And do you know what? I kind of make excuses up for it, but I kind of let the business go. I let everything go.
Yeah.
And I know it's not something I often quite talk about, right? And I went into a dark time, so dark that I'm going to the doctors going, I'm thinking some bad thoughts. I need some help, right? And they give you some medication and go, just make you feel better. It's like, do you go to the gym. It's like, I go to the gym, I'm sitting on the machine and I'm just looking into space, right?
Yeah.
And I was going into my office. I had a really beautiful office, right? And I had my own kind of office, and I just go there and just sit there and look at the walls all day, right? And it was painful. I'm telling you, that was pain. I was in a dark space, and that's when I was starting to think really bad thoughts.
Yeah.
Right. And there's when you live through these times, no matter what you can do about them, right? We've all gone through things, and you have to live through it. It's great to say, come out the other end, and I'll never go back there, regardless of what happens in life. Because what I realized is going through that, coming out of it, I know what it feels like now. Done the experience, ticked the box.
Yeah.
Right. Couldn't go any darker than that. Without doing something extreme. Couldn't have gone any darker than that. Right. But then I realized that actually all the things that I kind of lost, I needed to lose to be able to build the life I wanted to build.
Of course.
Right? And then also, but the big thing is you realize when you go through it and you come out the other end, like I say, you get this strength from it. So actually, what at the time felt horrific, right? And you didn't know how to deal with it. You couldn't deal with it, actually. It's like saying it wasn't a way to deal with it. Doesn't matter what people said about you. You go and see an expert, right? No one's going to actually make you feel better at that time, right?
I can relate to this.
And the only healing process for me for that isn't I go and sit down with somebody and they tell me their problems, I tell them my problems, and you have this therapy, right?
Yeah.
You just got to live through it.
Yeah.
You've got to live through it, be strong enough to get through it, and eventually life rebuilds itself.
Yeah.
Right. And then you take it on as one of those experiences. And I believe, even from a religious point of view in life, right?
Yeah.
Is we all have this journey, this plan, right? And we have to experience everything. Right?
Yeah.
So, you experience having a lot, losing a lot. You experience the dark times, the depression. And I think it's part of the life journey. So one day when we go back to heaven, it's like, damn, I ticked all those boxes.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of it, and it makes you who you are. And the thing is, I wouldn't regret any of these things. I wouldn't wish these things on anybody else.
Yeah.
Right. And I'd love to be able to help anybody that's in that position. Right.
Yeah.
But the only help I could ever give to anybody is like, well, you just got to fight through this. Don't do anything silly. That's what the world's trying to get you to do, right?
Yeah.
And eventually one day you'll look back and go, that's just another experience,
I'll draw parallels of that side. So you speak about dark times. So nothing as acute as yours. Nothing as acute as yours. But for me, the cloud that has been lingering over my life was a kind of a searing sense of, is this it? Like, is this it? And I feel like I know many people that have had horrible breakups. And interestingly, as I'm going on this own kind of self-improvement journey, people keep connecting with other people who are doing similar things. I think you can vibrate at a certain frequency and attract a certain energy.
Yeah, 100%.
And there are several people with bad breakups, kind of employment issues, health issues. These are all acute reasons that you could point out and be like, this is why I feel bad. And I get that. But there's another version of that person. I'll put myself in that bracket. And that version of that person, I've connected with a lot of other people like this. That kind of rock bottom, that kind of arrival at that destination comes from, I don't feel like I'm doing the thing that I'm supposed to be doing. And we spoke a lot about religion. I get religion's not for everyone. Some people would articulate it as spirituality. Some people kind of understand energy or that deep sense of self. And I feel like for me, it was when you get to the stage when you wake up and you look in the mirror and the kind of version of you that you've been putting out isn't the person that you see staring back in the mirror. You get to a point where you either save yourself or you submit to that spiral. And for me, I can remember a key moment. I'm walking to the train station And there's loads going on. So my wife's brilliant. She's a rock. But we're going through tense times. And I 100% will take the blame. Like, I was not in the room. I wasn't in the room throughout that period. Kind of recognising that there is a timeline of things. Like, my folks are amazing. I've got the best. Anyone that stands still 5 minutes will hear me say that I've got the best parents in the world. And they've done nothing but instill love and good values in us. Dad's Jamaican born. Mum's one of the very few of her generation to actually be born here. And in many ways, they're complete yin and yang, like absolute opposites.
Yeah.
And then somewhere in the middle, they've just come together. And I think as parents, there is, that's what I try and live up to. So you look across these people, look across my folks, I'm kind of aware of this timeline.
Big shoes to fill by the sounds of it.
Big shoes to fill, bro.
Yeah.
Big shoes to fill. And if I'm honest, JP, like, that's the bar. And I'm actually in amongst all this kind of, and I got to a stage where I felt super low. Like, I felt like, talk about depression side. I recognise that. And that's something I don't mind admitting. I've had talking therapy, and it's something I'll continue to keep as part of my life, because through doing things like this, kind of openly articulating, actually, this is how I feel. And then asking yourself, why do I feel like that? I think through that comes great power. You can take back, and then agency, you back in the driving seat.
Yeah.
And through part of those tough questions, I think I managed to arrive at a place where the only person, this talks about that thing about weakness, the only person that can save me is me. On the face of it, everything's good.
Yep.
We can do stuff, life's good, we've got networks around us, all the rest of that. But for me, that rock bottom place, and I don't want to keep talking about me and I don't want to sound selfish, but it comes from, am I the best version of me that I can be? And some people are cool with pretending that away. But then circling back to the family, I can't do that because my family's my everything.
Of course.
So if I'm pretending and this dissatisfied version of me, they're losing out. My folks, when I say there is nothing that they haven't done for us, I'm doing them a disservice. I'm thinking about the timeline. I'm 43. Look at their timeline. They've got 30 years on, 30 years on me. They need to see the fruits of all their labour.
Yeah.
So in looking at me, that allows me to then start being selfless. What are my actual obligations, man?
Yeah.
Looking at my wider community, my friends, colleagues, people that I connect with, social media, I'm like, hang on a minute. I genuinely feel that I've got an ability to affect change in my home, in my family, but wider than that. And for me, that sense of that rock bottom point was looking in the mirror and accepting you are rubbing along through life. Are you going to pull your socks up and actually do a bit? That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
It was dissatisfaction with the person I saw looking back in the mirror. That was my rock bottom. And you do that one too many times, I ain't doing this shit anymore. I ain't doing that no more. And therein lies the change. So it's accepting it, facing it, flogging yourself over it, but do all those things. But then unless you make change, unless you then start moving differently, behaving differently, walking differently, talking differently, networking differently, connecting differently, nothing's going to change. And then when I accepted that, then I thought, you know what? If you don't do stuff differently, then you are not allowed to moan. And that's it. That was the thing. I'm not allowed to moan. You're not allowed to moan. You have to just make change.
I mean, first of all, I think for me to say this, and I hope anyone that watches it or hears it, just thank you for going first. It's not easy. It's not easy to step forward as men in 2025, as dads, as husbands, as colleagues, as professionals. It's not easy. So thank you. We're going to take a short break because I think we need to digest a little bit.
Yeah, sure,
maybe grab some of this drink, and there's probably going to be a sponsorship word coming in whilst we do the break from Bound Nutrition. But yeah,
the camera.
We'll be right back, guys. We'll be right back. Again, we're back. Second part, right?
Let's go.
First part was building. It was bubbling, and got to the truth. I think for anyone that wants to hear the truth. They can hear it from the both of you. I value it, and I want to share something about me, because I don't want to just make it like me asking you questions, taking. Because I already am.
Do you know what? I was actually gonna see what he asks. I was gonna see what he asks next, and I'm gonna go. You know what, JP? I think you should ask that question. So I think he knew it was coming. I think he knew it was coming.
This table will be turned around.
I think he knew it was coming.
No.
So before he asked himself a question, right? Let's just stop this now, right? I think we should ask him a question. And I think rather than let him answer his own question, I think we've got to throw one back at JP.
I'm more than happy.
To ask a question.
Okay.
I want to ask a question. Go. I want to breach that rule though. So I feel like that question about
Let me just have some water first.
Yeah.
He's getting nervous now.
Yeah.
Is the temperature hot? Is it? Take the gilet off.
Let the spotlight's on him now. This is good. So I think the power is in vulnerability. So when I kind of zoom out of this thing that we're doing, I think to myself, what is it all about? What is the higher purpose for this collective that we've got? So the three of us have linked up, and to my mind, and I know I've spoken to you both about this as individuals, this was always meant to happen.
Yeah.
And then I question my luck. So what is going to happen? Like we're like this.
What we do?
And we're like this. We're full of juice and full of beans. And whenever I speak to either of you, I'm super buzzing and super excited, because I know implicitly that great things are going to happen. I just don't know what the great things are yet, right? So I'm trying to work that out on the fly. But the one thing that I have come to, so I was at a party. I was at a party on the weekend, and I had lots of conversations with lots of people. Lots of them men of a certain age, and that's kind of in and around 40. And after you get past the pleasantries, how you been? How's work? How's family? I saw you was in insert holiday destination. That looked really cool. I saw you did this to your house. I saw you bought that car.
Yeah.
Why'd you stop all that crap? Which is not crap, but it's crap on the grand scheme.
Yeah, of course it is.
And you start being frank and honest. What you soon realise is everyone's got that moment, that kind of skeleton, that kind of cloud, that kind of thing that they're struggling through or battling or have overcome.
Yeah.
Or we want to have the courage to overcome. And the more that this thing that we're all doing kind of develops, is the more I have connections with people that I think can benefit from some help, some roadmap, or a little bit of support with getting through their own stuff. So my stuff, Simon's stuff, your stuff, it's all different stuff.
Yeah.
But the paralyzing feeling can be the same.
Yeah.
So if we said we all go through it, then we said, right, then let's do something about it, let's support each other and help each other. And then I think, and I've said this to you, JP, I think our job is to go first. So this is the reality of what it is, and these are the good bits and these are the bad bits.
Yeah.
And actually, this is the roadmap. This is how personally I've overcame, and I'm happy to share that, kind of some of the tools that I've used. But my question for you is, where's your rock bottom, bro? Like, what's the thing, man? What's the thing? When you're at that bottom point, what is that?
Well, cards on the table or sparkling on the table. I am at rock bottom, if I'm honest. I'm literally there right now. That's why I'm so interested in hearing about you and how you got through it. Because by hook or by crook, I reached out, and this is the vibe, right? We've come across in various ways. Reached out to Simon, he responded. Do you know how powerful that is to me? For me to send a random stranger a message, hi, I'm JP, love your stuff, and then you just talk to me like a person.
Amen.
So, boy, that gave me some power. And Scott, we briefly met at work, got a vibe. And I reached out and I said, Scott, you know what? I've got some stuff going on, as in I've got some filming to do. Let me get back into shape. Yes, offering service. Then we collectively got together. However, that mask that you talked about, that deep, dark thought or intrusive, is just going on right now. And if I didn't have you guys, if I didn't have this, if I didn't have training, I wouldn't be in a good place. I wouldn't have a focus. I wouldn't have a target. So right now, two beautiful kids. I will be eternally grateful for Alfred and Ivy. My God, they are going to change the future. They already changed mine, right? So I'm grateful for that. But my relationship's broken apart. Selling my house, job's in transition, and I'm just lost. I'm lost for so many things. I've tried so many things, and I fail all the time. And I need you two, I need the wider community to actually say, first, it's okay to fail.
Mhm.
I mean, I'll do it anyway. I think I'll do it well. You know what I mean? I think we're experts at failing, right? And
listen, I
No
can
shame in
relate to that,
Right.
right?
we're failing. And the worst thing I'm doing, like you're saying, looking in the mirror and I'm just saying to myself, I'm failing. That's not good for me. I can't get out of it. The only thing I'm getting out of it is Scott's going, you know what? What's your weight today, bro? I'm like, oh no. That's keeping me on target. When we have the next session, bro, someone going, you know what? Do you need some more protein? Because it seems like you're working through it. Come down. I don't want to let either of you down. And that's the thing. I do not want to let you down. You're giving me hope, you give me strength, you give me a target. All of which is, I know when I get out of it, I'll understand. I have perspective. So I'm at rock bottom now. It doesn't seem like it. Look at me. Like he's looking all slick, you know, the arms are looking popping. Like you said, all the BS that we talk about, all the man stuff that we put. And I am so lucky to have you both in my life.
I appreciate you for saying that, bro.
Oh, man. And I just hope that someone or anyone that's willing to listen to this gets to that point where they are at rock bottom. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. I guess for us, the thing that draws us together, first of all, is we're dads. We've all gone through our relationship hassles. We've all gone through failure.
We got like Rocky movies.
Oh,
Rocky, yeah, there you go. There you go. Hey, Rocky 3, Rocky 4. Come on.
Sidetrack. What's the best Rocky movie, boys?
You know,
Simon, go first.
look, for me, it's always.
What are you including, though?
Right.
Are you including Rocky Balboa? We talk about Creed.
okay.
Do you know
we
what?
could go
though?
broad.
Even if it's everything, right?
Go on,
even the Creed movies, it's always
There's only 4 Rocky movies, guys. There's only 4.
it's always between 3 and 4.
100%.
3 and 4.
100%.
And you know the reason why?
Go on.
Right? The reason why, and this is
Shout out
when
to Sylvester Stallone, who's gonna listen to this.
destroyed my DVDs of both back in the day, right? And I had the gold version box set, right?
Nice.
It's the training montages,
Yeah, 100%.
right?
100%.
It's also
100%.
Rocky 3, right? It's the breaking point.
Yeah.
Like you get it. Like
Mickey.
he lost his coach. He realized he was a bit of a fake,
Yeah.
right? And you know, I always I had a bit of a funny childhood growing up, right?
Right.
But I grew up watching Superman and Rocky,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Because of Superman, I never smoked a cigarette in my life, right?
Nice.
And because of Rocky, I was dyslexic as a kid, and I went through a lot. I had bad learning difficulties, and I went through a lot because of it. Because back then, it wasn't like today, right? You were just a naughty kid.
Yeah.
If you weren't clever, you were
Yeah.
naughty, right? And you were treated like a naughty kid.
Yeah.
And so it's very, very different. But I'm not going to go into that. But what it was with Rocky, right? He was kind of a nobody. People took the piss out of him.
Yeah.
People laughed at him.
Yeah.
Right. And when I was at school, the only thing I was good at was sport. Right. I was a good sprinter. I went boxing at like 8, 9 years old.
Yeah.
And but sport was the only time teachers gave me credit, and people wanted to be my friend. Right. So when I started watching, Rocky 2 and things like that, I was like, I could relate to that character.
Yeah.
Right. You know, even I had constant people putting me down. Even my mum would say and do things, and so it was the fact that I thought, do you know what? There's one guy who's not the smartest guy. People take the piss out of him. People think he's a joke.
Yeah.
People think he's a bum, like they do in America, right? Like a tramp, right?
Yeah.
But you know what? He got one opportunity, right? One opportunity.
That's it.
And he didn't even say, I want to win this. He said, I want to be the first one to go the distance. I want to do something no one else has done, right? But he got one opportunity and took it.
Yeah.
And we was having a conversation earlier, and I said, you know what? In life, everyone gets opportunities.
Yeah.
Doors open, right?
100%.
And it's whether you take that door, you open it, you go through it. A lot of people go, that's never going to happen to me. I'm never that lucky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right. And sometimes you go through those doors, and actually what you get is a whole world of pain and failure and hurt and everything else, right?
Literally.
But you know what? That comes back to the way I look at things now, right? Which is, it's a learning process.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, right, JP, just going back to what you were saying, it kind of hurts me thinking, man, this guy picks the phone up to me and says, I know you've got that problem, man. Is there anything I can do? Right? It doesn't really open up on some of his own stuff, but I also know that I've been in a really similar position, right?
Yeah.
Because I end up, my house had to go, this had to go, that had to go. I had to start again.
Yeah.
Right. And it's hard, right? Because you built all this stuff up over all these years, and you have all these possessions, all these things you own, and you haven't known any different for like, good decade, right? And you're like, how am I going to restart? Right. And that, I was in my 30s when that happened, right? But how are you going to restart? And you feel like a failure, for one. You feel like you've let people down.
Yeah.
You feel like you let yourself down.
Yeah.
You feel embarrassed by it. You worry about your kids. How's this going to affect them? And there's all these regrets and everything else. And it puts you into a bad place. You go through all this pain, right? And there's not really anything anyone can say or do that will actually make you feel any better.
Yeah.
Right? It is genuinely the fact that you have to live through it.
Yeah.
And just try to be strong enough to live through it. You have to put people alongside you. And you've got people, right?
Yeah.
That, you can pick the phone up anytime. Go, do you know what, man? I just need 10 minutes conversation, right? Because you've got that, right? And that sometimes just helps when you're at that point of not knowing any answers and you're really confused and you're really like, but it is the fact that there's a bit of a process. Yeah. And it is the fact that there's things you're going to have to deal with you don't want to deal with. And you're going to have to.
Yeah.
Right. There's things you're going to have to do that you don't want to do. You're going to have to do it. Right. Eventually the house goes. Life changes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You might end up in a 1-bedroom flat, 2-bedroom flat.
Yeah.
Right. But then you know what? You'll get to a point where you could, like with me, right? And like I'm slightly older than you guys, right? So I'm like 48 this year. So I'm getting closer to 50. I'm
Looking good for
Looking good. Go give him a shout out.
Healthy decisions lead to healthy outcomes.
When I'm hopeful the surgeons can fix my hairline at some point, right?
Yeah, we'll go to me three.
Right.
When we go in Turkey.
Yeah, it's good that they
shout
can
out
do that
to
these
Turkish.
days, right?
You just hit us up, right? 15% off. We'll give you a shout out on the and we'll give you some protein bars as well.
Anything to look younger, right? But beard dye, hair implants, you name it, right?
God.
But look, it is the fact that he's accepting what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Accepting there's going to be change. Accepting life ain't going to look like it used to. Accepting all the things you believed were going to be the future aren't going to be the future no more. And it's resetting and it's going on a new journey, right? And I personally, and I'm not even saying this to make you feel any better, JP, because you have to go through this process, right? For whatever reason. And you just got to be as strong as you can to kind of do it. But you get to a point further down the line. I look at it now and I look at where I end up. I look at my wife, I look at the kids, and I look at and I haven't got as much as I had 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Financially, I've not got what I had 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like where we've been living, like I had to sell my house. Rianne sold her house. We've been renting for a long time now, right? We've not got. Neither one of us have got what we had 20 years ago, right? And that's hard when you're nearly 50.
Yeah.
To look and go, man, I work harder than I've ever worked.
Yeah.
I have less than I've ever had.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
It doesn't.
Right?
It doesn't.
And these things can destroy you.
Yeah.
Right? But then you start realizing, well, actually, you know what? Is the house important? Is driving around in a flash car important? I've done it. I did it.
Yeah.
I wasted ridiculous money on Aston Martins and silly stuff, right?
Yeah.
And, you think you're looking good, but most people look at you going, look at that.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, right?
Yeah.
I thought I was James Bond. Other people thought I was I'm not even going to say it, right? But I wouldn't change anything now because do you know what? The life I have today, for the first time, man, I don't want to get emotional, but for the first time in all of my life, I'm loved, right? By my wife, by my kids. And that's the first time in my life I have that experience. And that's because I've been through all of that stuff to eventually find something real that I've been looking for my entire life. Because you know what? I think all anybody really wants in life is to feel loved. Do you know that? That's it. Right. And that's when you find, when you come to get religion, right? And that's where faith is, because sometimes you think, you know what? And the little things might happen, these little blessings in life, right? The little things you can't explain, right? And you're like, yeah, there's something bigger that actually cares about me.
Yeah.
It's got my back.
Can I add something to that, Si and JP? That's beautiful and touching, like properly touching.
And I held that together.
Mate,
No,
for sure.
don't worry about not holding it together.
But
The thing is this, if we all accept that, look at the party on the weekend. After 5 minutes of small talk, I'm like, okay, well, this is this person's pressure point. This is the thing that's getting that person down. And I think I had that conversation several times, and have had it several times over the past few weeks, actually, with several different people, where we've naturally bumped into an old friend in Tesco. We pulled into a conversation, ended up being about mental health and about pressure and about money. And this is like I hadn't seen him in years. We're just in Tesco. So the point I'm making is, and this is what I'm trying to be that person. If we all accept that there are things in our lives, all of us, that we struggle with, I think the power comes from and kind of the mission has to be, this is the thing I think was important to get out there. When you look in someone's eye and you see that thing, don't pretend you didn't see it. I'm telling you, I think we've all got a moral obligation to ask the question. You're right.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Because Simon, you said something that this is what flipped me onto this point. That actually, as humans, like we all just want to be loved, and that includes us dudes.
Of course
right?
it does.
Like it includes
100%.
us.
100%.
Yeah. We all want to be. We want to know that someone's thinking about us. We want to know that we've got support. We want to know that someone cares about us. And I think particularly as men, I think we're terrible as blokes for kind of white knuckling through our problems and being so caught up in the fact that we're white knuckling through our problems, however big or small they may be, that we kind of lose that sense of kind of connection and empathy, which I think we should all hold so dear to us. I connected with an old work friend randomly for a TikTok post. And after some back and forth messages, I was like, yeah, you should give me a call. Like, he's into his fitness, we can talk. I drive in and something told me, give him a call. Don't know what it was. I'm telling you, someone told me to give him a call. And I rang him and I had no idea where the conversation was going to go. But what I do know, without sharing anyone's business, he needed that chat. So I think the job has to be to look in each other's eyes. JP, you said you're going through a bit. I can remember a session, we had deadlifts on the agenda. JP, this is what we're doing with kind of, we always go through what the session's going to look like. And as I'm talking to you, I'm looking in your eyes, I'm like, you're not all right. You're not all right. And I remember that session, we spoke more than you lifted. We ended up laughing and taking the mickey out of each other.
Yeah, we did. We did.
And what I hope came from that, and I'm sure it did because I told you, that if ever you need to speak to someone, you just talk to them. And I think people need to hear that. So I think we should strive to do that for others, because after all, that's what we'd want
100%,
someone to do for us.
100%.
That makes sense.
Well, why don't we, it's just an on the fly idea, just because, we're hoping this will go out to as many people as possible. We'll set up a WhatsApp number. We'll put it out. And if people want to text us in confidentially or otherwise, just to let it go a little bit. Me even saying it to you, and I don't think I was ever honest at the start about it, because we all thought of it from a business perspective.
Of course.
My business being my body. I thought, I'm going on TV. I've got to look the business, right? And all of us. But then, as time has gone on, we've developed it into something far more.
It's mad.
And even now, just these things are like happening. But if people want to tell us the stories, I've told you my story, you've told me yours. I think the most amount of respect we can do is just to read them out. Listen to them.
we talk about movies, right, that inspired us. Right, we joke about it, but it's true, like I say, the whole Rocky character, all of that stuff. And the thing is it molds you and it makes you a certain way, right? And all of these things, good, bad, ugly, everything you go through, it molds you and it makes you a certain thing, right? And that's the thing, like, JP, what you just shared, to be honest with you, that's deeper than what I'm sharing, because I've gone through my things, but the empathy I've got, is the fact that I can sympathize with what it's like when you're there, right? So I think even in this whole process, we don't want to you can't get away from certain things, right? You can't
No, you
deflect
can't.
from where you are, right?
You can't.
And you know, but the thing is like you get through these things, and you will get through this, right? And we'll make sure you get through it, right?
100%.
And it ain't going to be easy. So no one
No.
can flower things up and go,
No.
yeah, that's going to be easy. Yeah, you'll get through that. Like, no, it's shit. And
Yeah.
you've got to live through it, right? You don't have to live through it on your own. And you know what? This could be almost like a bit of a story now. You're gonna have to tell, right?
I have to get through
Because
it now.
It's the Rocky montage.
Because-
Oh no!
We're in the hard bit.
But it's easy.
Who's Mickey and who's Apollo?
Well, you know, he's got the hat. He's Mickey. He's the coach. You know?
Done. You done me there, bro.
But-
He did.
I'd rather be Apollo. Yeah.
We're going to be on the beach doing the crop
That's
tops.
it, man. We'll be-
Short
we'll be-
shorts.
Yeah.
Oh
that'd be-
man, you had me at hello.
That's next episode. Right?
Can you
But
imagine?
look, we've got to be really honest with this, right?
Yeah,
we
we
want to get really real, right?
Yeah.
And I think we'll keep doing this because you know what? You need to be honest about this journey. Everything that goes on, all the bad stuff, right? All of these scenarios. Because when I went through what I went through, right? As much as my life is amazing now because of that, wouldn't change anything, right? But like I said, I still had to live through it. And I lived through it on my own, and it was very lonely. I didn't really have many people around me, right? So you have a bit of an experience to get through it, being open and honest and genuine,
Yeah.
and knowing that you have got people that can help you, right? I've got some experience with it as well, man. So, you know, but it happens, and there's loads of other people there in life going through the same thing right now, you know, and this goes all the way back to what Scott was saying earlier, because when you suddenly realize that there's this big universe, right? And who knows what life's out in the universe, right? But then you come down to Earth, and we're this tiny little planet, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, we're this tiny little dot on that planet, and it's all these other people, all these other souls, all these other lives, all these other humans walking around, right? Doing their stuff, dealing with their things and everything else. And you think, you know, my life, no one cares about that. No one gives a damn whether I'm going through this. No one gives a damn whether I'm going through that. They've got their own problems to worry about.
Yeah.
And the truth is that everyone has their own problems, and everyone's worried about their own stuff, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, genuinely, there's an opportunity here where, you know, you need to keep on this journey and just allow other people to go on it with you.
We'll share it. And something to what you said there, Simon, that thing of that funneling down to, oh, right, it's just me, and actually look at all of everything.
Absolutely.
But then once you hit that point, that kind of baseline, I think it's important to acknowledge, but I can affect so much.
Yeah.
I can have a real impact.
Yeah.
So what I do, Saturn might not register it, but you will.
Yeah.
And so will you. And I think that that's the thing that we should hold like in our hearts. Like all of us have that superpower. I'm going to go comic booky again. That ability to inject so much light or darkness, conversely, into our environment. Talk about being dads and kids. As we're all united by the fact that we are fathers, we've got responsibilities, and we're trying to set the example. And one of the things I try and drill into my children is that whatever room you walk in, you have got the ability to colour that room one way or another.
Yeah.
Choose wisely. Like you can radiate, you can lift, doesn't matter what's going on, you've got the power to impact that. And that is something we should all have at the forefront of our mind. If you go into a room, go into a situation, go into a relationship, knowing through your efforts and energies, you can colour it positively, then we must all try and take that choice. And I think that the thing that's connected us is mad, because I feel like we've been in this kind of trio forever. And it's a very brief moment of time. But I think I was thinking about this on the way here. What is the thing that we have in common with each other? And I think the three of us, regardless of what's in the background, regardless of any fears, regardless of any issues, we're all best foot forward for the benefit of each other.
100%. Well,
Therein lies
here we go then.
therein lies
So
the power.
here's the toast then, I reckon, right? To say thank you and to wrap it up. You guys make the toast.
Si, this is your product. You make the toast, bro.
To life and the journey.
Life and the
To
journey.
support and prospering.
Support and prospering. Here's to good friends.
100%. That's a good protein drink. That's a good protein drink.
He's to A1 protein.
Yeah,
it's a
you
good
have to
protein
watch
drink.
it so you can see
That
the
was
can in action.
You know, it took 2 years to make this, and it was so worth it.
It goes down well. It
It's
goes
very
down well.
delicious, actually. Very delicious.
And what a way to end. Thank you for talking. Thank you for listening to me. And I guess thank you for anyone else that can come on the journey.
Yep.
If it's not just to help each other, maybe to help me. But yeah, I think we can definitely help each other. So thank you.
100%, man.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Thank you, JP. Thank you for asking the pointed questions, prompting me to be honest.
Yeah.
So I thank you for sharing. And that point of creating that network, of that circle of trust where people can feel like they're connected and feel like they're supported. Man, we've got to push that.
100%.
Let's grow that community, guys. Well, thank everyone for their time. So guys, if you enjoyed this episode, which we dearly hope you did, if you got something out of it, we'd just like you to like, subscribe, go on the Val Nutrition, go on Scott's. He's going to be able to send out some of his Instagram, Simon's Instagram, my Instagram, where you just see us working out all the time. Like, subscribe, and forward to anyone that wants to listen or be heard. Thank you for your time.